So I'd like to start talking about cotton prices. They've started to come down now. When will this shine through in your results?
For next quarter, cotton prices will still have a negative effect. But for purchases being done now, cotton prices are in line with or a little bit better than at the same time last year.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on cotton prices going forward? Do you see them coming down even further? How much?
Prices have come down from the peak. It's looking better, but I don't know exactly what will happen. My guess is that the demand will come down further, so hopefully that will lead to lower cotton prices.
Okay. About other costs like labor cost, transportation, do you have any thoughts on the trends there?
Transport costs are in line with or a little bit positive now compared to last year at the same time. Labor costs have been rising. When it comes to surplus capacity at the suppliers, it looks a little bit better compared to last year.
Okay. You've said that the online sales start in the U.S. has been delayed, postponed.
Yeah.
What did you not foresee?
No, it's quite a big thing to enter the world's biggest market with online selling. We want to make sure that we do it with quality. There are many components before entering a market. It's assortment planning. It's some IT issues. Customer service, logistics, and we want to make sure that we do it in a qualitative way, in a good way when we launch. So just when we came a little bit closer to the launch date, we felt that we needed more time. So that's why.
So was there anything in particular that?
No, just a combination of many things. But we felt that we needed a little bit more time, so we will launch it during autumn instead of spring next year.
Okay. Do you feel that this has in any way eroded your credibility in this
No,
area?
I don't think so. Not at all. I think, again, the most important thing is to enter in a good way, and I'm sure we will do that during the autumn instead.
Okay. What will happen to online expansion after the U.S.?
We will enter more markets. I don't have any dates or new markets to announce today, but we will enter more markets. We see that our online selling will work well in all our markets where we are present with physical stores.
Okay. Will you speed up pace in any way?
Again, I'm not going to say today how many stores or how many countries we will enter and when, but we will roll out our online shop in many new markets.
Okay. What can you or will you do to keep sales numbers up in this tougher economic environment?
We will continue with our constant improvements. We saw 2010 where we grew with 15% in local currencies, and for the first 9 months this year we have grown with 9% in local currencies, and it shows that we are performing well in a tough economic environment. So we're optimistic and we have a great belief going forward.
Okay. Would you consider raising prices?
No, the most important thing for us is that we stick to our business idea, fashion and quality at the best price, and that we do that in every market, and that's where we have the focus.
Okay, different question. Would you consider cutting prices to keep market share?
We don't go down into detail on how we work with prices, but we stick to our business idea and we have a long-term focus on the business.
Okay. Is this tougher environment financially, is that a good or a bad thing for a company like H&M?
Depends. If we look at the total selling, again, last year 15% up. This year we're 9% up in local currencies. It shows that we're performing well during tough economic times. I think private consumption is down in many markets, but with our business idea, fashion and quality at the best price, I think many customers, they want value for money, and the H&M is the best place to go to them. So in that way it's good, and we are taking market shares.
Okay, how much more market share can you take? Would you like to take?
Yeah, we can't give you a figure, but we're planning to continue to improve, and we see that we have an optimistic view when we look into the future, so I think we will perform well.
Okay. You said your inventory is higher than last year, but that it's well balanced. What does that mean?
That we have a good balance, a lot of new, fresh autumn garments. That's what it means.
Okay, so September sales was lower than you had expected.
Yes.
And you also sort of mentioned that it would be crucial what happens in October, November.
Yeah, if you look at the quarter, of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
Could that crucial point be postponed to November, or is it October we should be keeping our eyes on?
Both months are important. I don't want to give you an exact date, but what we see is that we are performing well in many markets where the weather has been more normal during September. So we have a great collection, good fashion level, good quality and great prices. So we have a good belief in that.
Okay. And the ever-present question about expansion into the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
We are continuing to look into new markets. We've been to South America several times, looking at a number of countries there. We have been to South Africa, Australia, so there are many interesting markets. But we are not only looking at markets in the southern hemisphere, we're also entering new markets, Bulgaria next year, and so we just have to set a total expansion plan that feels good for us.
Okay,
and we will enter those markets as well.
Great for them. But what is stopping you at the moment from entering these markets?
Nothing is stopping us. We believe that we can do it and do it in a good way. It's just again setting the total expansion plan that feels good for us. It's a lot of work behind entering a new market, and we want to make sure that we do it with quality and can't do all markets at the same time.
Can you give me a sort of, it won't happen at least before we do this or before this date?
I don't want to give you a date.
Okay, no. But do you think it could happen as soon as as next year?
We will enter new markets next year. But,
okay.
Yeah.
And we'll just have to wait and see which ones.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.